Christy has cerebral palsy, which affects her muscles and motor skills. 13 years ago, she was matched with her first mobility assist dog, a yellow lab named Huxley. Today, a black lab named Dilly fills that role. Dilly retrieves items, helps Christy adjust her wheelchair, and opens and closes doors. Dilly loves to learn new ways to help. Recently, while Christy was home alone in bed, her phone started ringing in another room. She recalls, "I asked Dilly to open the door and go get it. She brought it to me right away. This is something we had never practiced." When Christy's feeling stressed, Dilly climbs on her lap and licks her face until she feels better. She's grateful that Dilly's trainers were able to teach her skills like activating crosswalk plates when she picks up her older child from school. With Dilly by her side, Christy can go about her day without fear. Congratulations to successor Mobility Assist Dog Team, Christy and Dilly. John is a member of the Coon Rapids Police Department's peer support team. Facility dog Gizmo is John's partner in promoting wellness in the department. John understands the effects of police work on people's mental health. He monitors the police radio, listening for incidents that are difficult or traumatic for the officers involved. Later, he seeks those officers out to see how they're doing and gives them a chance to interact with Gizmo. The young black lab is trained to recognize and interrupt signs of anxiety. By visiting, resting his chin on someone's lap, or snuggling, lying down with his front legs across someone sitting on the floor, Gizmo helps keep the stress from escalating. While Gizmo continues to learn the tricks of his trade, John looks forward to expanding his role to include more community involvement, saying, "Gizmo has already changed so much in a positive way. Congratulations to Facility Dog Team John and Gizmo." Kaylee has a disorder called POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which causes dizziness or lightheadedness caused by a disruption in blood flow. Her mobility assist dog Winston helps her manage her episodes. Kaylee is a teacher. In her busy classroom, she often forgets to pace herself. The big yellow lab seems to know when she's overdoing and will come remind her that it's time to sit down. Winston also knows how to administer deep pressure therapy by resting his body on her legs to help alleviate pain. Kaylee says, "It makes such a difference. I'm often drained after a day of teaching. Winston helps me conserve my energy and manage my pain." She adds, "I'm no longer afraid of being alone because I'm not alone. Thank you, Can Do Canines. I can't imagine going back to a life without Winston by my side." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Kaylee and Winston. Jane started losing her hearing in her mid-40s. Big crowds and loud noises made it hard for her to navigate her world. She began to feel isolated until a black lab named Amore came into her life. Amore is Jane's hearing assist dog, who alerts her to door knocks, smoke alarms, oven timers, and even dropped items. Jane says, "I think it's so cool that she knows my name. When my husband calls me from another room, she'll nudge me with her nose, then lead me to him." Jane's grateful for the feeling of safety Amore has brought back to her life, saying, "I have confidence that Amore will help me in everyday life and alert me to any dangers I might encounter." She has this to say about everyone who helped raise and train Amore. "I can't imagine putting hours and hours into training a puppy, falling in love with her, and then letting her go. I appreciate you all more than you can imagine." Congratulations to Hearing Assist Dog Team Jane and Amore. Joe was born with spina bifida, which continues to cause him constant pain. When he and his wife Barb got a husky named Lobo as a family pet, Joe started training him. Watching them work together, Barb, who's an ICU nurse, thought Lobo could be an assistance dog. After Joe and Lobo qualified, they were enrolled in Can-Do Canine's owner-provided assistance dog training program. One of Lobo's most important jobs is helping Joe get through a pain spasm by lying down next to him until it passes. Lobo's brought my pain down 2 points, Joe says. Lobo's other skills include picking up the phone, moving items, and putting things away. Barb says, Lobo brings a level of comfort and joy we didn't have before. Joe says, for me, it's camaraderie, and he helps me physically. Barb adds, if Joe's with Lobo, he has independence. Congratulations to owner-provided Mobility Assist Dog Team Joe and Lobo. Haley works in a treatment facility for individuals struggling with mental health and substance use disorders. Hershey is the facility dog who accompanies her to group and individual therapy sessions. This lab golden retriever mix excels in visiting, which is resting his head on someone's lap, and snuggling with people who are having a hard time on their journey. Haley says, it's amazing the work he does. I've received many compliments saying, thank you, Hershey. You are a huge part of my recovery. Hershey brightens everyone's day. We're stopped in the hallway constantly so those who need a pet or kiss can feel better. As she considers their future, Haley says, I'm most looking forward to seeing him thrive in his environment and continue to change lives one day at a time. If the recipe for that process contains Hershey's kisses to anyone and everyone, all the better. Congratulations to Facility Dog Team Haley and Hershey. Devin was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was a baby. A black lab named Daisy is his diabetes assist dog. Devin lives a busy life with many variables that can affect his blood sugars. He does use a device to monitor his levels, but says technology isn't always 100% accurate. Not so with Daisy. Devin says, there's never been anything in the world that could alert me to a low blood sugar before I realized it until I met Daisy. The way she flips the switch is my favorite part. She'll just be lying down, relaxing, and then she smells the low blood sugar and jumps right into work mode. She still surprises me every day. Devin's grateful for the support Daisy offers, especially since he and his wife will welcome their first child this year. He says, having Daisy to help us grow as a family and feel safe is something I'm extremely happy for. My life has changed for the better in so many ways. Congratulations to Diabetes Assist Dog Team, Devin and Daisy. Gwen is an elementary school teacher whose hearing loss began in her 30s. Hearing aids help, but the loss continues. Without the help of a yellow lab named Anton, she could easily miss important sounds. Gwen says, Anton gives me confidence because he hears everything I don't. When the doorbell rings, he lets me know. Before Anton, when Gwen's husband Greg left the house early, he worried that she might sleep through her alarm clock. Not anymore. Gwen says, there's no way I can sleep through Anton's morning kisses. At school, when I drop something, he lets me know. If someone calls my name, Anton gives me a nudge. Gwen shares, Anton's helped me be open with my students about my hearing loss. I tell them, everybody struggles with something and we need to help each other. Anton is my helper. Who can you help today? Gwen is committed to giving back to Can-Do Canines by letting the world know how much they help people with disabilities. Congratulations to Hearing Assist Dog Team Gwen and Anton. Terry is unable to walk due to a spinal cord injury in 2007. His first mobility assist dog, Stanley, helped Terry until Stanley passed away in 2018. Being without a dog was hard, so when the time was right, Terry applied for a successor dog and was matched with a black lab named Kirby. Terry says, "It's amazing how much Kirby's calm demeanor and affectionate personality are replicas of Stanley's. His work ethic is the same, too. Kirby opens and closes doors for Terry, tugs the laundry basket, and brings Terry's wheelchair to him." Terry adds, "I know how many times without a dog I was always dropping stuff. I'd try reaching down and grabbing it and almost fall out of my wheelchair. That was always a challenge. Having a dog to do that makes a world of difference. Having Kirby by his side allows Terry to be more independent and live life with his family to the fullest. Congratulations to successor Mobility Assist Dog Team, Terry and Kirby." When Gavin was a freshman in high school, a ski accident left him paralyzed from the neck down. Yuma is Gavin's mobility assist dog, who's helping this outdoor lover regain his independence. The young black lab picks up dropped items, positions Gavin's foot on his chair's footrest, and helps him get through doorways. "There is no need to light a fire under Yuma," Gavin says. "He's ready to do something all the time." This team lives an active life. Gavin says, "We both love being in the woods, so it's a perfect match." Gavin's reassured that he doesn't have to worry about fallen branches on the trail. Yuma's there to drag them out of the way. Gavin appreciates his growing independence. "I can leave the house now if I want to. It's just more freedom to do things that I want to do by myself." He thanks those who cared for Yuma previously, saying, "Whatever they did right." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Gavin and Yuma. "10 years ago, Steph's spine was injured to the degree that she struggles to lift items or bend over to pick something up. In addition, she has a seizure disorder. Now Deja is there to assist whenever Steph needs help. The young black lab performs everyday tasks that most people don't think twice about. Steph says, 'For someone like me, it makes a huge difference.' She's a lab through and through. She loves to retrieve. I drop things a lot, and Deja's very good at picking them up and handing them to me. That's been a wonderful thing." Steph adds that her seizure activity has dropped since Deja came to her. Steph knows the benefits she's enjoying are due in large part to the upbringing and training Deja received. She says, "The amount of love that was shown to her along her path, I can see it in the dog she is now. I thank everyone involved from the bottom of my heart." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team, Steph and Deja. Eight-year-old Owen waited 4 years for his autism assist dog Arlo, a long time for a child whose risk perception isn't typical. His family was on constant alert in public settings. Now the handsome yellow lab helps keep Owen safe when they're out. Owen's mother, Stacy, says, "Owen doesn't like to be restricted. To help him understand the need for tethering, we tell him, 'You're responsible for Arlo. Make sure nobody's bumping into him.'" Arlo was partially raised in a home with a young boy much like Owen. He'd been through several meltdowns, gaining experience into what life with Owen would be like. Stacy says, "I'm really grateful that Owen and Arlo have bonded. Their relationship has helped him improve his communication skills. He enjoys telling his family what he and Arlo did together." She adds, "It's nice to think about planning the day and know that we're going to stay close." Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team Owen and Arlo and their family. Connie has MS and is paralyzed from the waist down. When her first mobility assist dog, Trek, passed away last year, Connie applied for a successor dog and within months began working with Yana. There were some scary moments when the young black lab developed some health problems, but Connie says, "Can-Do Canines worked with her and got her healthy. You didn't give up on her, and I'm very grateful for that." Today, Yana's often busy picking things up for Connie. She says, "If I have something on my lap and I drop it, I don't realize it because I can't feel my legs." Yana also retrieves the phone, opens and closes drawers and doors, and helps tug off Connie's jacket. She says, "Yana's always looking at me, seeming to ask, 'What do you want me to do?'" With Yana by her side, Connie feels more independent and secure, saying, "It's just having the comfort of knowing that if I need something, she's there. I feel very blessed that I was given such beautiful partners." Congratulations to Successor Mobility Assist Dog Team Connie and Yana. Jason has a progressive muscular disease that limits his mobility. He struggled with pain and discomfort daily until a yellow lab named Bo became his partner. From their very first meeting, Jason says, "Bo and I clicked right away, and it's been great ever since. He does a great job of retrieving items I drop on the floor. As soon as he hears them drop, he shows up and waits for the command to pick them up. He also gets really excited to go to work with me." With Bo by his side, Jason feels like his life is calmer and more relaxed. He says, "Just having him there offers me a real sense of security and comfort." He adds, "I'd like to sincerely thank all those involved with raising and training Bo. You did an amazing job, and words can't describe how truly grateful I am to all of you. I look forward to many years with Bo, and I know he looks forward to the same." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Jason and Bo. Two years ago, Mary was diagnosed with a rare genetic neuromuscular disease that affects her muscles and causes severe weakness in her legs. Walking is especially hard and puts her at great risk of falling. Now, a little black lab named Echo is by her side to help. Echo works hard to make Mary's life easier, tugging off her shoes and leg braces so Mary can save energy. She helps Mary elevate her legs when she wants to rest and activates push plates when they go out. Mary says, "She keeps me walking straight and allows me to walk at my own slow pace. If I drop my cane, she picks it up so I don't fall." "Having an assistance dog has changed my life for the better," Mary shares. "After being diagnosed with my disease, the first year was rough. Now I'm more optimistic about the future, knowing that my dog plays a huge part in it. Echo is always near me, watching to keep me safe." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Mary and Echo. Gabrielle's seizure disorder is due to chronic Lyme disease. She never knew when a seizure would strike. She couldn't work or go to school until hope for a better life arrived with Gwen, Gabrielle's seizure assist dog. She describes how the loving black lab helps during an episode. Gwen helps me get down on the floor so I don't fall, rolls me on my side, and keeps me there until it's over. She then licks me until I wake up, lies down next to me until I feel better, and then braces to help me stand up. Although seizure assist dogs can't be definitively trained to pre-alert to seizures, Gwen has somehow figured out how to alert Gabrielle. This gives her and those around her time to prepare. Gabrielle says, "I don't think anyone can truly understand the difference Gwen has made. She's brought a new light and hope into my life. She's a huge answer to prayer, and I'm so thankful for her." Congratulations to Seizure Assist Dog Team Gabrielle and Gwen. Chris was born with quad-spastic cerebral palsy, which affects his ability to walk and causes him to drop things frequently. Margo is his successor mobility assist dog, a black lab who stepped right into the paws of his first can-do canine, Esmeralda. Now when Chris needs help picking up items, opening doors, doing laundry, or turning on lights, he depends on Margo. "She's like my guardian angel," he says, "always so willing to help and always wanting to make sure that I'm happy." Chris uses his power chair to go on long morning and evening walks with Margo. He feels more complete having her by his side for company and to help, like he can be his normal self in public again. Chris says, "There aren't enough words to express my sincere gratitude. These dogs give us the freedom to continue to be independent." Congratulations to successor Mobility Assist Dog Team Chris and Margo. Abby has Huntington's disease, a disorder that affects her brain and motor control. It's hard for her to hold on to items, and bending over to pick something up puts her in danger of falling. Lucy is her mobility assist dog, who helps keep Abby safe. The sweet yellow lab is always on pickup patrol. Whether it's Abby's phone, remote control, or a medicine bottle, Lucy happily brings it to her. Lucy even helps with the laundry, putting clothes in the washer and dryer and tugging the laundry basket. If Abby needs something from the fridge, Lucy's there to open and close it. Now Abby feels more comfortable leaving the house. "It's easier to be out with my family and other people," she says. To Lucy's puppy raisers and trainers, Abby says, "Thank you for all your hard work. She's such a sweet and smart companion. I'm grateful that Lucy helps me be safe. I feel much more at peace." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Abby and Lucy. When Meg was a teenager, she suffered a cervical spinal cord injury. While she can stand and turn, she's considered a functional quadriplegic. A black lab named Zoe helps Meg with the tasks of everyday life. Meg lives alone and uses a power chair to get around. Zoe helps Meg adjust her chair, opens and closes doors, and turns lights on and off. Before Zoe, picking up dropped items was a huge challenge. Meg recalls, "If I try to do something with my hands full and then drop something, I get frustrated, and then it's this whole cascade of things. Now I don't have to not do something for fear of what if. I'm more confident in public to not need help from anybody else." Meg's favorite moments with Zoe, though, are when she visits, where she puts her little chin on my lap, Meg says. "My heart just bursts when she does that. I don't know what I did before her." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Meg and Zoe.